Now, ever since chapter 6, where we got confirmation that this fight was happening, and in chapter 7, where we just see the fight happen, a lot of people have jumped to the conclusion that Kishimoto essentially just used this fight to show that Mitsuki is weak, no match for Boruto, and is no match for anyone, and that Boruto is just, stronger than everybody, and Boruto is just this god of shinobi. But no, not only does this not show that Mitsuki is weak in any way, shape, or form, it also just confirms my theory that Kishimoto was using this fight to send a deeper message and show more of the narrative and writing side of Naruto or Boruto through Mitsuki versus Boruto. And he truly just never lost his touch with the pen. Let me explain. So firstly, going against the notion that this just shows Mitsuki is weak. No. All this shows is that Mitsuki is weaker than Boruto. We all knew that going into the fight. Memes aside, I think everyone knew that Boruto was going to win this fight. Maybe you thought Mitsuki would do better, but all that matters is that the conclusion you reached was Mitsuki was going to lose. So let's actually go over the fight and see what happened. So we know Mitsuki starts off in Sage Mode, he chases Boruto around, and they eventually make it out of the village into a barren forest where they can basically duke it out, all power, nothing to really look after such as the village or innocent civilians. Mitsuki, when he starts this fight and he's chasing around Boruto with his Sage Senjutsu enhanced snakes, he also forces those snakes to turn into shadow clones. Those shadow clones, or snake clones that they call them, should also be noted that they are in Sage Mode. Why this is significant is because throughout Naruto and even Boruto, we see that Naruto has to force his clones to meditate and actually amass nature energy just so he can go into Sage Mode and just so that can be transferred into his body. Mitsuki not only having the shadow clones already inside of Sage Mode, but also him still being in Sage Mode himself, and at the end of the fight not completely exhausting his chakra reserves, is something insane and damn near never before seen within the verse. So this is one key detail that people often overlook that kind of just shows that Mitsuki has been training and has mastered this groundbreaking, super powerful Sage Mode transformation that was hyped up since the Mitsuki one-shot. I mean, he's mastered so much so that not only can his clones automatically just absorb nature energy and be in Sage Mode right off the bat, his body also doesn't seem to be breaking down like it was versus Orochimaru. So he's gotten rid of the defect that happens and actually damages his body, as well as showcase the best nature energy receiving feat we've seen within the verse thus far. But that's not all. Mitsuki using lightning style actually clashes with Boruto's lightning style. Boruto was on the defensive and used his to cancel each other out, but the fact that Boruto's lightning style didn't just completely rip through Mitsuki's, such as if two Rasengans clashed together from adult Naruto and let's say just kid Boruto, pre-karma, pre all of the training, his would just go straight through. The fact that Mitsuki's actually clashed with it and made a big explosion kind of speaks to his power as well. And that's also another detail people often overlook, just because the simple fact that they say, okay, Mitsuki never landed an outright hit, and Mitsuki also inevitably lost the fight. Landing a hit is not the only way to gain scaling, and it's also not the only way to show improvement within battle or improvement within power. That being said, what I also find very unique and very interesting with Mitsuki is that since we've already confirmed that he has been training his Sage Mode and he can now do things that we've never before seen in the series before, he knows that Boruto beat Code. He knows how powerful Code is. Now, I am in no way saying Mitsuki is as strong as Code or stronger than Code, right? For at this point, we might as well just not know. But the fact that knowing he did this and Mitsuki still being angry but not stupid and rushing into a fight thinking that he can do something to Boruto kind of implies that yes, there is a gap, but the gap may not be as big as what we thought. It may not be that Mitsuki is some toddler, but that while Mitsuki's not on their level, he's somewhere close. Now, this is again me, of course, not making any claims here because I think Code and Boruto are much stronger than Mitsuki, but this shows that him as a shinobi is just nothing to scoff at. He is just very powerful, and with his Senjutsu or Sage Enhanced Ninjutsu, he is just a force to be reckoned with to any normal shinobi that is not an Otsutsuki. But moving past the power scaling aspect of the battle, because at the beginning of the video I did say that there was something deeper that we weren't understanding, and Kishimoto never lost the touch of his pen. He's more or less giving us a more narrative and emotion based fight rather than just big epic battle where Mitsuki is destroying stuff, Boruto destroying stuff, and Mitsuki's trying to kill Boruto. That's not what Kishimoto was doing. I think the main theme of this fight and the main takeaway of this fight is that if you are truly a top class shinobi, you should be able to understand emotions through clashing a fist or fighting another top class shinobi. This is a theme in Naruto with Naruto versus Sasuke, that they can basically understand each other through merely clashing fists, through merely fighting each other, even though that is an act of violence. Since they are top class shinobi, this makes their feelings apparent to each other. I'm pretty sure this is reiterated with Obito, with Hashirama, with Madara, with Kakashi. Basically, any top class shinobi should be able to do this. Mitsuki being a top class shinobi and Boruto also being the top top class shinobi, just in the verse, while also having these bonds that were kind of fogged by omnipotence, and also having this old friendship of Boruto being his son and Mitsuki being the moon, and Mitsuki only being able to shine through Boruto being with him. I think this is just beautifully done, because if Mitsuki, even if he loses, still could get his emotions across that even he might not understand to Boruto, no matter the outcome of the fight, it fulfills the narrative reason of them understanding each other, them coming to this agreement, and Mitsuki finally understanding the truth of, oh, Boruto is my son, I am his moon. Even if omnipotence will still rewrite these memories, this fight still showcased to Boruto that Mitsuki still has these feelings that he doesn't understand. He still has these feelings that are dormant, and it showcases to Mitsuki that, oh, maybe Kawaki isn't my son. Maybe I'm looking at the wrong thing. Maybe something's at play here. This is more hinted at in Pressed when Boruto doesn't even want to hurt Mitsuki. He doesn't even hurt Mitsuki. I don't think he throws any super powerful blows. He doesn't use Rasengan Uzuhiko. He doesn't just outright one-shot Mitsuki. He puts a sword to his neck, and the fight ends there. Even when Mitsuki's still kind of mad and wraps a snake around Boruto, demanding answers from Boruto, Boruto still remains calm. He just simply explains the situation to Mitsuki after they exchange blows and understand each other's feelings. This is why the chapter started off with a miniature just inner monologue of Mitsuki before he rushes at Boruto. Because Mitsuki has these feelings that he doesn't understand, then he rushes at Boruto, and post-fight he now understands these feelings. Even if it's just a little bit more than he did before, it's still better than nothing. This is also further hinted at when Boruto, after the exchange of blows and after the fight, says Mitsuki can come and visit anytime. He even smirks at Mitsuki and just goes away. Because he is truly Mitsuki's friend, he knows that he is Mitsuki's son. He loves Mitsuki dearly because he still understands the relationship they had, and what Mitsuki's doing right now is not Mitsuki's fault. That's why he's trying his hardest, even though it's eventually just going to be a matter that just shouldn't have happened, because omnipotence is such a broken and powerful jutsu that it just should rewrite any doubt that Mitsuki has left and make him forget whatever happened. This is closure for Boruto and Mitsuki, and this furthers Mitsuki's character so much that it even made me like, because I didn't like Mitsuki before this chapter, because all I had was the one shot. Sarada, Kawaki, Boruto, Naruto, Sasuke, Amato, everyone in part 1 had glorious narrative arcs. They had problems that they dealt with. They had emotional backstories. They had reasons for what they did. And Mitsuki, ever since that one-shot manga, he had nothing else. Now, just in chapter 7 of Two Blue Vortex, they've elevated his character so much so that I can actually call him a good and likable character, and that I truly like Mitsuki now. With that being said, I can go on and on about Mitsuki's beautiful character writing within this fight, and how it finally brings a little bit of closure to both of their arcs and opens up many more doors for where they can take Mitsuki's character in the future and how they can build upon this narrative. There's still more things that I think people are overlooking within this fight. Now, another gripe people had is, oh, Boruto is too strong. We knew Boruto was strong. Boruto for 3 years has had to train and hone his skills against Code, because Code was stronger than the person who just defeated Naruto and Sasuke, stronger than the person who led the organization of the person who he called brother that basically stole his life, and stronger than pretty much every other foe that Boruto has had to deal with up until this point. This on top of just the person who even put his master in a tree, Boruto has to train and hone his skills so he doesn't make that mistake again. Boruto literally bears the fate of the world. This is stated on the Boruto database released by VJump. When you're bearing the fate of the world, you have to be the greatest person in the world. You have to hone your skills so you don't cause anyone else pain, so you don't make anyone else in the same state that your master in, so you don't get anyone else sealed in Naruto's dimension. You have to be this calm, collected, super strong person. It's not like this came out of nowhere anyway. Boruto across 3 years honed and mastered all the skills that Sasuke had and created new jutsu. Along with having the guidance of Kashin Koji later on, this just makes perfect sense. He just has to be this way. This is why when he comes to the Leaf Village, yeah, he's erasing his chakra, but he's still on guard at all times, and he's still confident he can deal with any threat that comes his way. The only threat that he couldn't have possibly planned for are the new Jubi Clawgrime enhanced people that Code just made from the Jubi's old body. What I'm glad this opens the door to is the fact that Mitsuki and Boruto's friendship can continue to grow, because one thing that I kind of had, questions about with omnipotence being introduced is, oh, besides Sarada, will Boruto just never get to develop with Mitsuki again? But I was completely wrong. Ikimoto and Kishimoto just proved me wrong. They cooked up a beautiful chapter for me today. I truly love chapter 7. What I am kind of interested in now, since I now think that, Kishimoto has started kicking up the emotional aspect of the fights again, is how Sarada and revealing her power will work. Because so far, Kawaki and Sarada just were in the dark about them. Yeah, Mitsuki makes a statement on Kawaki, but he's never seen Kawashiki. He's never seen Karma 2 Kawaki. Kawaki. Nobody's also ever seen Sarada's Mangekyo Sharingan abilities or her just pure taijutsu AP and speed within the time skip. I truly think we're in for a treat with Two Blue Vortex. I think Sarada is going to truly just meet her match with Hidari, and we're going to get just a spectacle. We're going to get an absolute masterclass in emotion and fight-wise from Kishimoto that is going to make a lot of us proud, because Sarada is just my favorite female character in the Naruto franchise. I truly hope he cooks with her, and it's been hinted at a lot that she's going to be very important in Two Blue Vortex. And Kawaki, on the other hand, I know a lot of people are calling him frauds, a lot of people are doing that. I'm going to make a power scaling video and an explanation video on Kawaki within the future, but just for right now, I truly can't wait till he cooks, because within the flash forward, we just see him and Boruto are relative. We see that he can force Boruto to the ground, and he has a bunch of destruction around him. We see Kawaki truly puts up a fight, and I can't wait for him to make me proud. With that being said though, if you enjoyed this video and wish for more Boruto content, I'm on a way more consistent schedule now. I know a lot of people have noticed, they're pointing out in the comments and DMing me. Thank you, always appreciate the help and always appreciate the feedback. It truly makes my day. I'm going to try to pump out way more content. I'm at a place right now where I can be consistent. You know, I'm not too busy with school anymore. I still go to school, but I'm just not too busy now. But with that being said, more Boruto content, like, comment, subscribe, and goodbye.